useStateHooks in ReactJS. So basically, before diving into the ReactJS hooks, we'll understand about some plain JavaScript and how this works. So yeah, let's type. So let me assign a value, counter is equals to 0, and I want to render this 0 in the UI. So let me duplicate this and pass a counter, save this, and as you can see the counter 0 is assigned here. So what a plain JavaScript is, every time you want to change UI value, you just target the element, right? Every time you get the element and manually update the value. So if I want to update the value from 0 to 5, and on page save you will see the 5 is rendered over here. So this is what basic concepts for plain JavaScript. Let us understand on click event, right? So whenever what I want to do is, whenever I click on this increment button, I want the state get updated, that is the value gets updated. So for to do this, I have to add an event to this button, and let me give an on click event. So as I save this, you will get an error because on increment function is not defined, right? Increment is not defined. So let me define this. As you can see, the error has been resolved. So what I want to do is, every time I click on this increment button, my value should get updated from 0 to +1, right? I want to increment my value with +1. So I grab that variable where I assigned the value, and this should be equals to variable +1, and this should get me the result, right? This is how you create an event and update the value in plain JavaScript. So let me give you a demonstration. So as you can see, I'm clicking the button, but its UI is not getting updated. So let me take you with the console that where it is getting updated. You can do it with the help of JavaScript also. Document target that element and gets updated, right? So I'm console the log. I'm just here to make you understand how this works, right? Okay, so let me take you to the console, and you will see here. So every time I press the increment button, you will get the updation over this console, right? Okay, let us try. So as you can see, I'm pressing the increment button and it is getting updated, right? Every time I press this, it's get updated. So I want the same event, same effect using ReactJS hook. This is what the ReactJS hook does. So instead of writing something like this, you can use some specific syntax that ReactJS provides, and you have to import the ReactJS from each ReactJS library, right? So I'm importing useState, and instead of writing something like this, what we now do is we define it as counter and set counter for update. useState, and as you can see, if I refresh the page, you will see the same answer over here. So I'm just commenting this out, console, clearing the console, and as you can see, every time I change the value, as before, I pass here 4 and it gets updated. The same thing is done here, but you just have to understand this syntax, this line of code, right? This is how useStateHooks works here. And for the same thing, when I press the increment button, you will resolve an error, and let us understand what that error means. So as you can see, type error, right? So this means that every time you assign a value to a variable, value to a constant, this only takes a value and never gets updated. So to update it, we transfer it to the next variable and reassign it. So using a use state hook, we just don't use something like this to get it updated. We take its set counter and pass it inside there, right? So what this means is set counter takes okay, set counters takes counter plus 1, and this is what the same thing use state hook do. And let me assign it to the 0, and you'll see a magic in a while. So whenever I press the increment button, it gets updated in the UI. Voila. So as you can see, this is so good. Using only a bit line of code makes your life change, game change, right? This is how use state hook works, and this is one of the most important technique to use in the ReactJS project. Every time you need to when you want to update the UI, you need to use the use state hook. Thank you.